tell the truth on this show. Like we give you tips on how to live and not go to jail. And I was on Carolina like Rob. And,
Hold on, you didn't tell me. You did not tell me how to not go to jail. You just told me what would happen to me if I was in jail.
Yeah, that is correct. Actually, see, I don't want to put words in your mouth there, and I do that a lot, and I don't mean to.
I mean,
I just
words in my mouth is okay, Cam. That's fine.
Yes.
Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog, the Week 16 Best Bets, Gold, Silver, Bronze, plus Joe Idone stopping by to break down more TGL midway through the show. Smash a like, sub to the channel while you're here, and you can always get these picks in the Saturday evening newsletter, or you can just hit recap. Well, picks recap. There's 2 recaps in the time codes. You want to go to the second one after we recap our picks. And teaser for this episode, Rob Pizzola, congratulations on moving to a new spot.
Thank you very much. Pretty stressful week. I haven't moved in a very long time, and had a lot of shit that I had to either choose to get rid of or bring with me. But we're here. We got set up in the office, which was like priority number 1 for me. And back in business for the holiday season.
Yeah, you got a storage locker?
I do. It's right behind me. It's a little.
I was actually going to say, I'd like to see the storage locker. Maybe I can pick out a couple items like they do on Storage Wars.
Oh, you actually want me to give you some stuff? I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. This sounds really bad. I did give away a lot of stuff. I did not consider you, unfortunately, Cam. I didn't think. I'm my closest.
Oh, I'm not going to feel insulted at all, Rob. Like
yes.
You've known a lot of people longer than me, but just some sports memorabilia or betting related items would be good. Nice.
I could have given you my tortoise. My
things
tortoise
I could resell. I'm not going to resell your turtle on the market. I do have a heart. I'm not Grinch, but things that you can give me that I could resell. But anyway, it's fine. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's party.
Cam, are you a stressed out person around the holidays?
No, I couldn't give a shit about it. To be honest with you, last year was rough. Every year's the same. Pat, it's just like Groundhog Day. I go up to my woman. I go, I remember New Year's. At 3, 2, 1. I go, honey, I really got a feeling 2023 is going to be amazing. 2024, can't beat it. 2025, can I feel you? That's what I'm saying. It's the same shit every time. My dad's still in the hospital, but he's doing well. He at least everything's good. He just can't walk. So I'm going to make him a turkey and maybe do things differently. Maybe some prime rib to mix it up. Everyone does turkey and ham. Fuck that shit. We could do seafood and some other things too.
Oh, yeah.
You're right, Pizzola, you understand. The Italians get it. It's like the same traditional crap. I don't mind some things. Mashed potatoes, great. Like mashed potatoes, it's like comfort food for me. I like turkey. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it. I'll eat it. But I think we can mix up Christmas, Pat. There's a lot of things that who says you can't have a roast beef?
Would you ever go to a friend's party with your own Tupperware containers when you walk in, anticipating that you'll just take food home with you? I'm
going to say this, and I hope my aunt and uncle don't watch the show. We used to continue. They live in Unionville and they have money, but they used to buy like $500 farm raised bird for everybody right back in the days when everyone got there. And I'm waiting at the end of the night and they give me like a Ziploc kids bag of turkey. I'm like, I fucking paid for this part of this meal. And I know when I go to Pizzola's house, his parents are giving me a garbage bag full of food. If I'm sitting here and you're giving me literally like a Ziploc mini kids bag that you put celery sticks and carrots in, I got to be honest with you, I used to rage on the way home. And I go up to my mom and go, listen, what's the fucking deal here? Like, we come here, I'm actually contributing to the turkey. I used to give money towards it. And I'm coming home with a Ziploc of turkey. I know when I go to Rob's house, they're filling it up. So my car, it's like a Flintstones car. It's going on one way, like Brontosaurus ribs. When you go to somebody's house, you don't have to bring your own stuff. But I will say this.
Would you?
Give the people fair portions. No, that's a loser move. If I'm walking in with Tupperware, that's like, feed me. No, they're going to do it anyway. You're just an absolute stooge. If you bring your own Tupperware, like, they don't have Ziplocs or Tupperware that you can return in a couple weeks? Like, give me anyway, wow, that is so cheap. Like, I'm disgusted by it. Like that's brutal, right, Pizzola? Like, nice. Anyway, when you break
out the absolute stooge, I can't control myself. It is an absolute stooge.
Oh,
move.
It's such a bad move.
I mean, you have to be like, you really have to have some serious nerve to show up to somebody else's house.
You're so right, Pizzola.
Fucking Tupperware, ready
honestly,
to like,
oh, feed me. Like, they will supply you with a Ziploc bag and Tupperware. Like, you're not there to bring items over there. And if they don't, maybe they need to be better hosts. Even me, I'll give you a shot of Jack Daniels, Crown, out the door. You're going to get at least a good treatment, and I will send you home with food because that's the way I always wanted food. Rob, I was up in Woodbridge. You talk about the word when I say absolute stooge. It was the best. Remember the G word when the guys in prisons used to write us from the score like, hey, guys, really love the show. You guys are a big hit in the prison. This guy's a goof. I used the G word. And a guy from prison I actually talked to this weekend, and he said, you can use the G word if you could defend yourself. That's what he told me. But this guy was bigger. He had a Buffalo Bills jersey. He's about 6'8", 350 pounds. His fucking hand, Rob, was bigger than two of my heads. This guy was the biggest human being I've ever seen. And we were talking about the word goof. Not very good in the prison system if you don't know how to fight. That's a tip for everybody. If you go to jail, don't use the G word unless you can defend yourself. You better know martial arts.
Listen, I feel like if I was on the inside, I'd have a whole lot more problems than just saying the G word.
Oh, yeah, Pat, you're good looking with good teeth. You're done in prison, bro. You're the first meat. Like yep. I pray for you. Like if all of us went to prison, they'll get me for talking too much. But Mayo, you walk in there with those beautiful beautiful white teeth that look like better than TV guys and like better than Crest white strips and everything. Sitting there, nice look. Oh man, you're prime meat. Like a dog to a bone. You're done. They're gonna lick you. They're gonna eat you. That thing, nothing but marrow at the end of that trip. Pat Marrow, not Mayo. Marrow.
Let's recap last week because Rob, we saved you, Cam. We saved you. Rob couldn't help himself from making Rob what I am calling the worst bet of the century, betting on the Carolina Panthers.
It was horrible.
Why?
Because they don't win games, and you bet on them to win and cover.
Pat's kind of right on that one.
I bet Carolina 2.5. They closed 3. I've done my job.
Oh, great bet. Great bet, man. Way to get that half point of value. They lost by
Pat, I do this for a living. I've been able to sustain this for years for a living by being
25 points or something.
Actually, Pat, I will say this in Pizzola's defense. When Bryce Young fumbled, I looked at my girlfriend and said, we're fucked. Like the first drive of the game, I go, we're on the wrong side. Let's get out of this bet immediately.
Yeah.
It was already too late.
I mean, obviously they got blown out. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going into Sunday not looking at like, I like my positions based off of the numbers that I get. That's basically the way you're going to win at sports betting in the long run.
Hold on. Are you giving away the entire masterclass right now in that one sentence?
That's part of it, but most people don't understand how the betting market works. It's a highly efficient market. If the sports
sounds like goof class, hey Pat?
Hey, be careful, Cam.
I love you, Rob.
Watch yourself. I know where you live. I know where you live. You use the G word on me again, and you're going to have a package at the door real soon. It's not going to be the fucking steaks that Mayo's sending you. I'll tell you that.
You're going to be hitting me over the head with, I better be awake with a golf club or I'm in big trouble. Big trouble.
But anyway, Cam, you were saved by not being allowed to take Carolina.
No, I would have taken Buffalo as my picks, but you're right. I did bet Carolina. Hey, we tell the truth on this show. Like, we give you tips on how to live and not go to jail. And I was on Carolina like Rob. And,
hold on, you didn't tell me. You did not tell me how to not go to jail. You just told me what would happen to me if I was in jail.
Yeah, that is correct. Actually, see, I don't want to put words in your mouth there, and I do that a lot, and I don't mean to.
I mean,
I just
words in my mouth is okay, Cam. That's fine.
Yes, yeah. Pat Marrow though, that was pretty. That one just right off the top of the head there. So I got a few wires left, but Rob gets it. Yep.
Oh, that was honestly. We're late into 2024 here. I think that was your best work of 2024.
Sometimes,
you saved
Rob,
the best for last.
When I'm half dead and barely alive, I just kick right on my deathbed. I give you my best right before it's over. For the paddles.
I went 1 and 2 because you want to talk about a bad bet. I did not anticipate Spencer Rattler being Patrick Mahomes, Rob, when he came into the game at half. I bet against
we had Hainzer for a while.
Yeah, I bet against Hainzer, and that was looking good.
Honestly, it should have. I bet Washington in real life as well, and not on the show because we have our rules. But you got hosed, Pat. Like we got fucking hosed by whichever ref decided that he wanted to stop the clock at 5 seconds left for no fucking reason in the world. And then the NFL afterwards, they just put out a statement like, "Well, he incorrectly stopped the clock." Well, that's great. I mean, the Saints had a chance to win the game because of that. It was upsetting though because we saw Rattler earlier in the year, and he sucked. He was terrible. But part of what happens when these quarterbacks get inserted mid-game is oftentimes other team didn't prepare for them, and they tend to look a little bit better than they actually might be. So,
Rob, can I ask you? And I this is an observation, and I'm being serious for a sec here. Since this gambling landscape has changed, I'm finding a lot of the time these games, like a lot of the chalk is coming in more than the dogs. Like I used to make a living betting on underdogs, and underdogs are, but not only you bet them, but they're getting fucked by referees too. I thought the Bears got a lot of bad calls against them in that game. It just seems like to me, every time these dogs are playing, it's like, wow, man, like not only are they can't catch a break, like things are working against them the whole game. I don't know if this is true. Blessing used to say water finds its level, but I've been noticing a lot of these public plays, like, these favorites and all these other things are coming in a hell of a lot more than they used to.
Washington,
yeah, because the market evolves.
And I can assure you, Washington did not come in.
No, they did not.
No, they did not come in. No, that you're right,
not.
though. What Hainzer was doing his job for a while. Pizzola, he tweeted me, too. He's like, see this Canadian whiskey here, Cam, at the Filipino grocery store? $2.50. Bessing would approve. It was amazing. $2.50 for a jug of whiskey. I'm like, what? What is that, aftershave? But anyway, sounds like he's doing really well there economically.
I thought he was flying. He's like, I'm flying out.
He's
no,
staying
he's
forever.
not flying home. He just flew to the Philippines instead.
I got to
from
tell him
Thailand
he's
to
got to.
Philippines.
I hope Hainzer meets a chick in Manila and gets married there, and we go to his wedding in the Philippines, and I can drink $2.50. And Pat, no, you would love the name of it too. The brand name, John Player Canadian whiskey.
Is it?
I'm like, that sounds made up.
Is it Sig whiskey?
Whatever the fuck it is, Hainzer's drinking it, and it might as well be tadpole water, but it's cheap.
Well, Rob did do the best, as usual. He lost the gold pick, but he won silver and bronze. He was the winner of the week, going 2-1. Cam, you hit gold with Buffalo, so that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you.
And I only hit the lowly Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe. I think the Bucks covered. I hit one of them. I went 1-2.
Yeah,
it was
Bucks
the Bucks
smoked the Chargers.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they
the
smoked
Bucks
them.
smoked the
Yeah.
Chargers. That's right. So let's start with the gold.
Oh,
picks.
Tennessee too. Like, here's the deal. Okay, I've been on the right. This team, like Rob, Will Levis throws a pick six every game. Like, I know you could factor that in your spread, but they're winning outright in these games. Like, I'm like, how do you not like cover? Like, I don't care. Like, what is happening here? Anyway, he might not play this week.
I bet some Tennessee on game day last week. I feel I can't go.
I know what they're like. They're that team. Just Pat. If Tennessee and Carolina early didn't exist, think about how much money I'd have. Like these two teams have single hand, and Rob knows I'm an addict. I don't know when to stop. It's like a drug because the minute I stop betting Tennessee, then they'll go like Carolina and cover 5 in a row. That's
you have
why
FOMO.
I stay on.
You have the fear of missing out. It's
sickening.
You feel like lots of bettors do. The week that you jump off the bandwagon is the week that they're finally going to cover. So you just keep betting them over and over. And they suck.
Rob, it's a huge mental flaw, and I need you one day to we'll talk to about a doctor, Clockwork Orange style, and rewire my brain because I can't stop doing it. Like I want to take them again this week.
Well,
I need help.
I'm going back to the well with a team that's treated me very well, and they can clinch their over 8.5 wins with just an outright win. But I'm seeing a 4 minus 105 right now at Cool Bet. Rob, are there any 3.5s on the market for Tampa Bay?
No, 4 minus 105 is the best price in market.
Should have got it early.
Tampa Bay -4 for me on the road Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys. I think it's just I'm really glad. I mean, the Cowboys played like all right against Cincinnati, who kind of sucks, and then they beat the crap out of Carolina, who really sucks. And I think that maybe I'm wrong on this because I like this team.
Tennessee's good. Tampa Bay's good.
That's
Pat.
what I mean.
Really...
I feel like they're weirdly underrated right now. That they should be favored by more than this with the way that they put up points. I know their defense sucks, Rob. I don't know if Dallas can keep up on the scoreboard if they don't get to run the ball 38 times in the game.
I actually think Tampa's defense is better than people give it credit for. I know they have some big injuries. Antoine Winfield is out last week. He'll probably miss again this week. Some other players, Mike Edwards is one of their safeties as well. But the thing about Tampa Bay's defense, especially under Todd Bowles, is when they play bad quarterbacks, they tend to play really well. Like you look at this run recently, I don't want to say Herbert was a bad quarterback, but he's very clearly hobbled after he took that hit in the game last week. And if they have an inferior quarterback in some way, Bowles is a very good defensive coordinator, comes up with good game plans. So that defense will get smoked by, the best quarterbacks in the league. But you give them someone like Cooper Rush, I think they'll have a lot of success against someone like him who just, listen, I'm not here to drag the guy, but he's a backup quarterback is what he is. So I actually think weirdly the defense is maybe a little bit undervalued by people.
Well, that's good news because Tampa Bay scores 35 points a game, and no one
They
seems
do.
to notice.
They do. This will be interesting to me because the Dallas has got their pass rush back. So and and Baker will take sacks. That's like the one negative of his game. He's mobile, but he does take sacks when pressured. It's an interesting game. I think 4 is a fine price, but
Actually,
I know,
Pat, I'm seeing a -3.5 on FanDuel Ontario, but 18 cents a juice for Tampa Bay.
sorry, my bad. Actually, when I said 4
That's
minus
fact.
1, it's because 4 minus 105 is
Better?
better than -3.5 minus 118. But we don't count juice
No,
on
no,
this show
but like,
anyway.
I usually, when I go through these, I make the bets as I go along, and I'd rather have the -105 at the -4. So I'll stick with the
Okay,
-4
cool.
for Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, you guys are bigger men than me. I'd take the 3.5 if they win by 4, but yeah, I drink a lot of juice.
Hey, it's a gold pick, Cam. I got confidence here, although I think I'm like 0-3 on my last 3 gold picks after going like 11-0 in 11 straight weeks. So it happens.
I don't know, Pat, how I get back to believing in myself and actually sticking with like the stupidest games and stuff like that. Like Buffalo, I like that pick and I didn't waver from it. And Rob knows, like we had that year where we were on fire and everything was just, it came easy. I don't know what it is. I'm just thinking about every single game when I don't even think if you go rapid fire and go, bah, 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 it works better for me. I know that's probably not the way for most people, but when I think too much, shit things happen all the time. I should just like the Mayo joke kind of came to the top of my head. I should be with that all the time. But Pat, good call on Tampa Bay in the division. I'll give you all the respect in the world. This team, and you know what? It'd be amazing. Do you know Mike Evans played with fucking Mike Glennon and like so many loser quarterbacks in his career? Imagine this guy didn't get hurt and actually played with real quarterbacks. How scary this guy would be. To me, first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think it's an argument, man. The guy's amazing.
100%.
Thank you, Rob.
It's weird because his stats are going to say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to have, we'll see if he ends up getting to 1,000 yards again. He has the Super Bowl with Brady. But at no point did anyone ever really think that Mike Evans is like a top 5 receiver in the league. Like,
he's awesome.
Talent. I know he's awesome, but like he's been consistently the 8th best receiver in football for a decade. But would you have ever put Mike Evans on a pedestal? Be like, that guy's one of like the 3 best dudes in the league at receiver. No, right?
I don't have a good enough memory and stuff too. Like he had some really shitty quarterbacks. So Pat, yes, I would have to say, and Mike Evans is one of those guys that didn't have like forever that wide receiver guy. He's like, I remember for a couple of years, he was the only guy Tampa Bay had, and consistently he just put up numbers with any type of quarterback. Like he's just, to me, I think he's probably one of the most underrated receivers in NFL history.
What do you think, Rob? Because like, he played, during the Julio Jones era, and I think everyone would say that Julio Jones is way better than Mike Evans.
I don't know about that.
I think Julio Jones at his peak was probably better. I have a horrible memory when it comes to this stuff. Like I'm thinking of this through a fantasy lens, and Mike Evans always used to be one of the top fantasy receivers off the board.
He was, but
right?
if you were trying to construct a team, like even now, like think about someone like CeeDee Lamb. Like, would you say that Mike Evans is better than CeeDee Lamb? I don't think that you would.
I would.
Different receivers.
Yeah.
Different types of receivers.
That's a real
CeeDee Lamb will get you more volume. Evans is better in the red zone with his big type of body like a tight end. That's the whole thing with those long arms of tight end. And I want a guy who's going to get touchdowns like that. Lamb will get you, he's one of those guys, 8 catches, 10 catches, 12 catches when he's healthy. Evans might get you 6, but he'll get you 2 touchdowns and 110 yards. Like he's one of those guys. He's an animal in the red zone. So that's important to me.
That is true. Yeah, he's one of the best end zone receivers. Him and Davante Adams are like the 2 touchdown receivers.
Which is actually funny because when Davante Adams came in the league, he dropped everything in the red zone. Like that was his thing that Rodgers didn't want to throw to him for a while because he was dropping everything in the end zone. It's weird. Like I'm kind of with you, but Evans has had a great year this year. He's played through injury for so much of his career, found a way to get back onto the field in shorter time frames than other people. I think Mike Evans, I'm with Cam on this. Like I think maybe you both have a valid point in that Cam saying that he's very underrated and Pat saying like he was never really a top 5 guy. I don't remember well enough to say so, but I view Mike Evans as first year he's eligible for Hall of Fame. He needs to go in.
I think you're right that he will go in because he's going to have – it's a lot like when – I think this is unfair because I think Mike Evans is better than this, but it's like when Craig Biggio went into the Hall of Fame. It's like, look at these numbers. Like, you can't keep this guy out. He's 3,000 hits. And you're just going to see that with Mike Evans. Like, his value came from his end zone presence, ability to come down with touchdowns and contested catches, and just longevity of being good over and over and over for a decade, where you just don't see that from wide receivers. It's usually like a Julio Jones, where you have this like 4-year peak and you're awesome, and then you're just kind of out of the league.
Yep.
So
I'm with you.
Like, what do you value more? I think that both are valuable and both probably end up getting in, but it's just funny to think about. Like, he was never the best guy or even in the conversation for being the best guy in the league at his position at any point in his career, yet he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You don't see that.
I also, like, the first thing that I think of when somebody says Mike Evans is drops as well.
Why?
Because he's dropped so many balls that hit him right in the hands.
When I think about Julio Jones, I think about not scoring touchdowns.
That's a classic Julio thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys are both, they were both like elite players for so many years. They're both in easy.
See, that's the thing. Like these sports shows argument, like you could have they'll spend a week on this stuff, whatever. And I think both you have a case for both guys, and we have to accept it. Like two things can be right at the same time, and that's the way I look at Mike Evans. He did drop a lot of balls. He also had idiots throwing him balls, and they still calls this a drop if he has to dive 8 yards and it tips off his fingertips or it goes right to him. That's life. He dealt with some of the worst quarterbacks going for a few years. So I think that's important.
Well, Eli Manning's going to go into the Hall of Fame, and he was a below average quarterback for most of his career.
Yeah, because of Super Bowls.
I know.
He played well in big games.
So, I mean, where do you draw the line, right? I would rather put a guy like Mike Evans in there who's been consistently great for his entire career than a guy who did win a couple Super Bowls, but was never, ever, ever considered a great quarterback at any point.
Yeah. I do think it's a little bit different only because quarterbacks take the brunt of everything if things go wrong. That it's the only one where Super Bowls I do think matter a lot, as long as you're not like a complete disaster.
I know. He did win that. Like, quarterback is such a valuable position, and he won 2 Super Bowls. I get it. I'm a bitter Dallas Cowboys fan who thinks that the Giants defense won them those Super Bowls, but he did make great plays. He escaped the sack, threw it down to David Tyree, a sack which, by the way, would have been whistled dead at any other point in the regular season that year, but they let the play go on for some reason in the Super Bowl. He made that sideline pass to Mario Manningham. He made some good throws. I have to give him credit for that. But Eli Manning's career,
one of the best days of my life, Pizzola. Great day when the Giants won.
I know that they're different receivers, but he kind of reminds me of Torrey Holt in a weird way. Just the longevity of career, put up all these numbers. And I mean, even living through the greatest show on turf, Cam, like from 99 to 2005, Torrey Holt was awesome. And
dude, Torrey Holt, the Reverend Isaac Bruce, their receiving core was sickening. Like that, it was ridiculous. So those Rams receivers, hell, they had Ricky Prohl as like a possession receiver, like a fourth guy. The guy's amazing.
Marshall Faulk out of the backfield.
Had Marshall Faulk, one of the best running backs of all time. Like that team was special. Don't kid yourself. Kurt Warner was a nice story, and they have a 30 for 30 on him. Look at the pieces that surrounded him. Beautiful offensive line, some of the best receivers in the world, best running back in the, like, you know what I mean? Everything. It was a perfect storm. Trust me, if Trent Green didn't get hurt, he would have won a fucking Super Bowl with them too. Let's not get it twisted here.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I do.
I don't.
I think Rob, you remember Trent Green? He was actually a decent
quarterback. I think he was fine.
Kurt Warner was a really good quarterback at his peak.
He was. Yes. He couldn't move, but they gave him time to go dice. That's the whole thing. In today's football, he'd have a hell of a lot more problems.
Yes.
Because he wasn't mobile.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
But Kurt Warner is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, let's not forget
but big time. Yes. No. I'm not taking anything away from Kurt Warner. I'm just saying Trent Green with those pieces, I still think I think they were the pinnacle. They would have won the Super Bowl. That is my opinion. We will never know because he was hurt. And
the most impressive thing about Torrey Holt was that he could actually catch balls with his fingers.
Yeah.
That I can't even imitate what that finger looked like because the fingers don't bend that way. But his finger was on a 90-degree angle.
A lot of receivers got mashed up hands.
So Mike Evans just moved after last week to 24th on the all-time receiving list. Do you know who he passed to move to number 24? Someone who retired 7 years ago now. Wow. But he was very good for a long time. But in a very similar vein to Mike Evans. Brandon Marshall.
Receiver?
Brandon Marshall. I love Brandon Marshall.
Huh. Yeah, I like Brandon Marshall too.
But like, is Brandon Marshall's not in the Hall of Fame or even like around that, is he?
I don't think he had the longevity though. Marshall.
He played 12 years and he's 25th all time in receiving yards.
He actually they kind of like he deserves better in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Brandon Marshall, like the comp I think of when I think of Brandon Marshall is Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden's 14th.
But Bolden played way less than 12 years with that because he had that guy was ripped. He was like a boxer playing receiver.
Bolden played 13 years.
He played 13 fucking years.
You
I thought
gotta,
he
you gotta
played about
remember that
8.
these guys catch on with it's like Julio when he was
Yeah.
on the Eagles last year.
Yeah, you're
Is
right.
Mike Evans ahead of or behind DeAndre Hopkins? Because those would be very
behind.
Because that's like the closest comp I can think of right now. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a Hall of Famer too.
I like Hopkins.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we spent a lot of time on that for the gold.
Well, what
picks.
the hell just happened on this show today? Well, we're starting to break it down like, hello, everybody. We're not making picks. Yeah. See, we can do it all. We'll give you shitty losing picks, some winning picks, and break down NFL history too.
No, this
Wow,
is all.
what a tandem.
This is all we need. Tampa Bay Buccaneers -4. There's your bet. There's the gold pick. Go win some money. Easy stuff.
There it is.
Rob, what's
Rob,
your
did you make a pick yet? Yeah, yeah.
I have not yet. I'm just deciding which fan base I would rather curse with this pick.
Okay. I'm listening.
I hate this
Do it.
fucking card this week.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm telling you, it's dog week.
You think it's dog week?
Big time.
Make like
every-
make the Bears your gold pick. Do that.
No, I don't like that game at all. Zero. Brian Branch didn't practice today. Detroit's defense has gone like there's nobody left at this point.
The thing about Caleb Williams, though, is I'm watching this guy get hit all the time, and I'm like, fuck, you should have started the Bajent and instead, because this guy needs he needs to get it right again. Like, that's why I like what Green Bay did. Love learned under Rodgers. He comes in, he could figure it out a little bit more. Like, this kid's he's scrambled, man.
That's
ruined his
unfair
confidence.
though. Like if Tyson
What's unfair?
Bagent was a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, then yeah, Caleb Williams would have sat.
that's-
But he's Tyson fucking Bagent. He sucks.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just saying the coaches at some point need to look at this fucking investment and say enough is enough. He can't get his head hit off the turf anymore. This is not happening. Fucking, we're shutting him down. Party's over. Get in the fucking bagel man, baguette, whatever the hell he is, baguette. I don't care what it is. Ham and Swiss, toasted. Just get him out there. Like, I can't watch this guy get hit anymore. It's
And
pissing me off.
maybe down 3 O-linemen this week as well.
Yeah.
The left tackle and center missed last week.
You know what? I almost want to take the Bears now. This is ridiculous. What do you think? Well, you going to take the Lions?
No, I'm not. I'm just not going to bet that game.
Are you gonna abstain from a gold pick? You're gonna pass?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I don't
No,
know.
I'll pick. I'm going to make a pick for the purposes of. I'm not going to pass a pick.
We have to make.
I have some respect for the show. Settle down here. I'm not showing up with a Tupperware to the show
here.
and saying like, yeah, I'll take some picks to go here, boys.
Rob's pick is bringing Tupperware to a party.
I'm taking the Jets plus 3.5.
Love it.
This is Jeff's super lock. This is Cuss super lock.
Oh,
this is
for
all.
God's
This is
sake.
also week 1 of what Cuss has called back-to-back Super Bowls for the Jets, because they play the Rams. This is the Jets Super Bowl, and then next week when they play, I don't know who the hell they're playing, the Bills or something. It's also
Rob, I
the
love
Jets
it
Super
too.
Bowl, according to Cuss.
Let's play the Bills next week. Yeah. I'm not listening. I'm not going to make the Super Bowl argument. That Cuss can have that to himself. That's fine. I think the Jets are a little bit undervalued now because Rodgers is healthy. There's a big difference between the way Aaron Rodgers was playing early in the year versus how he has played in recent weeks. He's a lot more mobile. He's throwing downfield. I mean, you could have never imagined, 6 or 8 weeks ago, a Devontae Adams 200-yard game. It never would have been possible. Yes, it's the Jags. I get it. That's a bad opponent, and the Rams are a step up in class. But I'm getting the hook at home. I feel that's very valuable in this type of game where the Jets have been able to hang around because of their offense. I thought the secondary was going to be in worse shape this week for the Jets, but looks like it's not going to be in that bad of shape based off of the practice reports today. They'll have both starting corners starting. Listen, I don't love it. I'm not making this isn't a killer gold pick or anything like that. And based off my track record with the golds, it will probably lose. But I think the 3.5 is very valuable in this game.
I like the Jets side of this game, but I would also worry that the Jets defense is horrible and they generate no pressure, that the Rams might just go crazy on them.
I think the Rams will run the ball a lot. The Rams have become slowly morphed into a rushing team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. If you look at their neutral game state rushing plays, Steelers are pretty high rush rate teams nowadays, and they'll have some success. The Jets, I'm not making this pick because I think the Jets defense is going to have this amazing game. They haven't really proven that they can do that yet this year. It's more so I think the offense has gotten a lot better and people have been slow to realize it.
Cam, your gold pick, I'm guessing it's Tennessee.
I want to make it that way, but I'm going to say no. I like the Jets as well. You know what? I like Carolina against Arizona. Can I
can't-
do this again?
No, you can't take
we-
Carolina.
Oh yeah.
We were not allowed to give you Carolina.
I'm never doing anything so dumb next year. Like just honestly, the rules we've created for ourselves.
We are
is just
saving.
so
We're saving you
stupid.
money. Saving
No,
you
you're
picks.
not. Carolina's going to beat Arizona outright this week. But anyway, I digress. I like the Jets. Yes.
You're taking the
Are the
Jets.
Seahawks going to win or what? Are they going to beat the Vikings?
I am so scared that I love Minnesota so much in that game.
You know
that
what?
It's like
That's
terrifying
perfect.
me.
Pat, no, what, Pat, and I love you as a person, but that's all I give me. The can I get 3.5? Can I
No,
get a
you
3.5?
can't.
I see it.
There's
I
only
only
three.
see three.
Only three. I'm looking across the entire board on
My God,
BetStamp.
it
There's
was
only
4.
three.
I bet it at 4 already. Okay. Fine. What am I gonna do? Oh fuck! I hate
You
this.
just-
What
just
about
take the
what about the Browns? Browns.
Oh, God, we're gonna-
You want DTR?
I love you, but you love the worst players on the planet that I just can't get. That doesn't mean the Browns can't cover.
No.
I do not want anything to do with that guy.
Fine. Know what? Give me the fucking commies plus 3.5 against the Eagles. Done.
It's funny.
Okay.
Funny. That's the Minnesota and Philly, Rob, are the two teams this week that I'm just like, these numbers are too short. They're gonna kill the other team. And I know,
trap,
and I know,
both of them.
I know it does feel like a trap, but the other Minnesota and Philadelphia are so much better than Washington and Seattle. It's unbelievable.
No, they're not.
They are. Seattle's not good. Seattle was good against
Yeah,
Arizona.
Minnesota. Watching those guys play, they're overrated. They're the worst team with 2 losses I've ever seen in my life. The Bears are moving the ball at will on these guys. Like Minnesota's a joke. Darnold, whatever. They got great receivers. Big deal. Like I can't believe people think this team. Oh, they're not that good.
I agree. I
They're
agree
not
with you.
great.
I think they're worse than Philly, but like Seattle's. Ugh.
Seattle sucks. I'll admit that. Sorry, Minnesota fans. I like to drink with you too because Vikings like to party. But I'm going to tell you, just put the brakes on for a bit, okay? You're beating up bad teams too. It's not like you're beating up anybody good. Let's relax.
All right. Well,
My opinion of that game is that the number has to be 3. No, I would like either side. Like Minnesota is going to win by 3. We'll be talking about this next week as a push. I've seen it happen already.
I mean, how healthy is Gino going to be for this game?
He practiced today, so at least he's
fine.
practicing on Wednesday is usually a very good sign.
Yeah, but
for
Why
QB.
are the Chiefs favored by 3 over the Texans?
Because Mahomes is playing.
Mahomes is starting?
Who gives a shit? He's hurt. I'd rather see Prince Harry out there. I want to take Houston badly.
Well,
You're allowed to take Houston. Houston won. I mean, Houston's a joke.
I say, I bet the Chiefs at +2 when it wasn't like for sure that
Smart.
I was like,
that was smart.
Well, I was like, the Chiefs might beat them with Wentz anyway.
I don't
this
like
board's
anything.
just making me sick.
It
You
is
see,
a
Rob?
sickening board.
Now I'm thinking
Sickening.
again. I was doing fine before. Now I can't make a decision. Great. That means I'm fucked. I gotta find a switch to get like into dumb mode again. Like, wish I could take a pill where I get stupid and stoned and just go ding ding ding. The dumbest, the better for me. That's what works for me. Stupid.
You need the anti-limitless pill.
Yes, thank you, Pat. The anti-limitless pill. Well, I'm probably on it anyway. Those diabetes medications make me pretty stupid, and I haven't had a solid shit in about a year. Anyway,
On Thursday night football, Rob. Underdog.
Yes.
Any props that you like from that game that just stick out to you right away?
Off the top of my head, this is interesting. There's player injuries that we got to take account for here. If Denzel Perryman doesn't play, the Chargers have really struggled to stop the run, and Jaleel McLaughlin is banged up. So I think there's maybe some way that we could potentially take advantage of that.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking straight.
You don't. I just feel like you don't want to mess around with the Denver backfield because you'd be like, oh, perfect, Javonte Williams will have 1 carry, and Edric Estime will end up, or where the hell that guy's name is. Will end up with 14
Audric
carries.
Estime. I know exactly what you're saying. They fuck around a lot with that backfield there right now.
I would say I like the Cortland Sutton overs. And I mean, I like Stone Smart, but his line's at like 3.5 receptions now. That seems like a lot.
That is a lot for Stone Smart. What do you think? What do you think the game is going to happen in that game?
I think Denver wins.
Yeah, I like Denver. I took 3 on Denver.
I have no opinion. Tough game. I want the Chargers to win for Jeff.
I know, but Herbert has a fucking high ankle sprain that he's playing through. He's not mobile anymore. Like they sucked in the second half against Tampa last week.
Rob, you know the
Terrible.
NFL, things can change quite quickly.
Oh, of
It doesn't
course they
injury to
can.
non-injury, weird things happen. The guy could be better this week. Shoot him up. I don't know. I think it's a very difficult game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
The line went down to the Chargers too, not up, which is very suspect in my opinion.
I think it's
Now the Chargers are only 2.5. People are smashing Denver like they got tomorrow's paper.
Well, I wouldn't bet the 2.5. I'll tell you that. It's got to be. Got to get the 3.
I mean,
or nothing.
you can bet the line. I mean, you could either bet the 3 or just bet Denver money line because I think this is a true like 50-50 game. If
Yeah,
Herbert's not
I want the same
100%.
gold pick as Rob. I want the Jets as my gold pick. Sorry, Rob. I'm doing it. And I'll switch the other ones. I don't know. This Washington game scaring me all of a sudden. Why, Pat? Stop talking about the Eagles in the Washington game. I was fine with 3.5. Now
You've picked 4 teams as your gold pick now.
I have. And one I'm not allowed to pick. Actually, maybe 2. Because Tennessee should be banned as well. Seattle. Do I take Seattle as my gold pick?
You just took
Did
the
I
Jets.
ever do that? Yeah, I did just take the Jets. God, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. It's so frustrating. And you guys must be even more frustrated working with me.
No, it's okay. I
so
gave
what-
me
so
some
I-
time,
no, no,
gave me
no,
some
no,
time
no,
to
no,
look some things up.
Okay, I got to stick it up. I got to stick with it. Okay, Washington. Washington.
Washington's going to be
Plus
the goal.
3.5.
Pat, for the underdog pick for Thursday, I like Justin Herbert under 11.5 rushing yards.
I was looking at that too. That seems too easy. I'm going to put it on this ticket, so don't worry about that. And if you use code Mayo right now at Underdog, you can get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. We've been doing really well, and we're doing PGA best ball drafts right now. That content is up on the network, so you can watch that. And there is one real strategy that you need to know. I would tune into that strategy video to find it out, because people are not drafting that way, which means they're going to lose. You might not win with this strategy, but you'll just be in the running with everyone else who uses it, and you need to be using it. So go check that out on Mayo Media Network with the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast right now. But you will get a free pick for this game. So let's go. Cortland Sutton higher, 11.5 fantasy points. Justin Herbert lower than 11.5 rushing yards. And Stone Smart lower than 3.5 receptions. That pays 6-1. And then all of a sudden, if you throw on the free pick, you'll get that up to 10-1. But the last time that I played one of these rushing unders, Rob, was a Trevor Lawrence high ankle sprain against the Saints on Thursday Night Football when he ran for like 60 yards.
Yep, of course.
I remember that game very clearly. I made the exact same bet. I remember.
It's always a trap, man. Be careful, guys. Be careful.
That one was a little bullshit, though. That was a little suspect. I think he didn't really have a high ankle sprain. It was low ankle. I think that was it. But I remember that game clearly, and I got hosed hard on that prop.
That's the thing about these injury reports. You got to dig deeper, kind of like what the Blue Jays say in the reports. Like, we're getting this player. No, you're not. It's just a straight out lie and not even true.
Well, I said this to Jeff last week, but to Feinberg last week, but they were reporting that Justin Herbert has a low ankle sprain, but he also had swelling in the same knee that he has the ankle sprain. Well, guess what, buddy? That's a high ankle sprain. I've seen that a million times before in my life. So it's just misreporting that happens. But you're right, Cam. Sometimes you got to read the tea leaves a little bit.
Look at this, like Mahomes stuff. I don't know what they're doing to the market right there. Everyone's like, oh, there's no way. And you got to think about the Kansas City season. So, Pat, as you said, you jumped on a team that was getting points, and now they're laying 3. Like, you know what I mean? This feels like a really interesting spot in this game. Like, I don't know what that. I wouldn't be surprised if Wentz came in the game because Mahomes gave it a shot type of thing. You know what I mean?
But
we'll see.
But nothing ever. The only thing that happened with that was after the game, Andy Reid was like, "Yeah, he's fine. He could have went back in. We just wanted to keep him out." Like, if you just believed Andy Reid, you would have seen this coming. Just no one did.
Okay.
Also, Mahomes has played on a high ankle sprain 14 times. He does this all the time. He came back in the Super Bowl at halftime with a high ankle sprain and fucking torched the defense in the second half.
You're right, Rob. You're absolutely correct.
But
the guy's got great pain threshold. Got to give him that.
Yeah, they're playing for the bye week, and he'll rest his leg on the bye week if they get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, quickly. Okay, I did a couple things really well last week in the 4:00 games, and one of them was identifying a public dog in Pittsburgh. I don't know. What we have to talk about this Ravens-Steeler game. The world is going to take Pittsburgh this week, correct?
Well,
I'm going to take the Ravens as my silver pick this week.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting, Robin. See, this is why. Sometimes I'm dumb on the show, but I give you segues to go in other places.
I suspected Pat might be in there, so I loved.
Oh, Pat wants. I know Mayo. I know Pat Merrill very well, and Merrill likes steel.
If you guys
Steal.
knew me very well, you
6
would
bars.
know that the rest of the silver picks are coming up in a second. But first, Joe Idone is here to break down the LA Golf Club for the TGL. New York Golf Club is 4-1 to win the TGL. They're the 4th favorites of the 6-team league, and they are headlined by Xander Schauffele, coming off 2 major championship wins. Ricky Fowler on this team, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Cameron Young. A nice balance on this team from top to bottom, depending on how you think that Fowler might rebound in 2025. I like this team enough. They're not my favorites, though, to win the TGL, although I can see a path where they just, if Cameron Young can, make some putts on this green, they could be very deadly.
Yeah, can Cameron Young, will he get his first win in the TGL? I think it's more likely than winning a tournament. But yeah, I worry about Ricky, and I also worry about Matt Fitzpatrick. He was not very good last year. Neither was Fowler. Cam Young, we know, has his struggles, and I don't know that this is the best format for his skill set either. That said, Xander clearly had the best year in 2024, the most accomplished player in the field right now in terms of any team playing golf currently. Will he be able to accentuate sort of his advantage in terms of, just being able to get up and down from everywhere and be so consistent on a week to week basis? I don't know how much that plays into this type of format. I like this team. I don't love them.
The holidays are here, and this year, I'm not stressing about what to wear, especially around the house, because I'll be wearing my Doers. These are the most comfortable pants that I own. They make me look good, and they're so comfortable. I wear them at work, I wear them around the house, I wear them when I'm out doing things, because Doers denim and lifestyle apparel is built for doing. And I can really tell the difference right now, because I've been switching in between jeans and I wear my Doers. There's a lot of temperature fluctuation going on right now at this time of the year. And the high quality temperature regulating fabrics, they keep me warm, but at the same time, I don't get overheated. So that's really where you want to go. And Doer has styles for everyone. They don't chase trends. There are pieces you can wear all year round. Trust me, I know you'll love your Doers as much as I do. Check out Doers flagship stores in LA or Denver, or shop online at shopdoer.com/PME. Right now, my listeners get 20% off your first purchase when you use my exclusive URL, shopdoer.com/PME. This is such a great deal. Don't wait to get 20% off. Go now, shopdoer.com/PME. Introducing to you the TGL presented by SoFi Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN+. This is a simulator plus real chipping, real grass, and real green league featuring some of the PGA Tour's biggest players like Tiger and Rory and Xander. Only 2-hour matches inside of a stadium, and has other sporting elements like timeouts, refs, and overtime. You tee off from real grass into a screen. You might end up in the rough, or sand, real sand, and have to play it back into the screen out of there. After that, they use the technology to drop it by a real greenside area plus a real putting surface, getting everyone involved in the contest. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. To learn more, visit tglgolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up. It's golf. For 11 months of the year, staying motivated is not a problem for me. Then December hits, the holidays around, I'm out of my normal routine, and it becomes a struggle to stay motivated and keeping myself laser focused on work and health and getting exercise in every single day, just because everything's so out of whack with my schedule being thrown off. The one thing that I've been doing to make sure that I stay on the right path every single day is waking up and drinking my AG1. I get my essentials for nutrients and supplements every single day, and it just makes me feel so good. It makes me motivated to continue to stay focused on what I need to accomplish every single day, no matter how out of the regular routine that my life starts to get. AG1 is a sponsor of the Pat Mayo Experience, so this holiday season, try AG1 for yourself or even gift it to someone special. It's the perfect time to focus on supporting your body with an easy and surprisingly delicious daily health drink. That's why I'm so excited to be partnering with them. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs inside your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/Mayo to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/mayo to start your new year off on a healthier note. Rob, I didn't know if you liked red or white, so I decided to send you both.
I drink both. I really appreciate that. That was very
Oh,
nice
he got
of
him
you.
wine? Ooh, that's lovely. Good work, Pizzola. Hey, Rob, remember you got diabetes, Malbecs, low sugar.
I know. I was listen, I don't want this. I'm gonna just tell you the truth because I'm a very honest guy. When I saw the wine packages here, my first thought was Pat probably sent me the wine that Cam recommended. These Malbecs. I'm like, I'm not a big Malbec guy. I really hope it's not these. And then I opened them up and I did like one of those.
Why
sorry,
are you dissing Malbecs? There's some beautiful wines.
It's just not my my
Oh,
my
okay.
preference
I'm sorry.
is not.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair
it's
enough,
not
fair
that.
enough. Okay.
They
I
just
thought you
don't
were
do
just. I was trying to help you with your health, so you didn't drink.
No, I know
Snoop
that.
Dogg's
I know
wine
that.
and be down on the ground like me with paddles. My girlfriend going, "You're turning purple like the wine because it's got 40 grams of sugar per serving instead of 2 grams per 750 milliliter."
Bingo.
bottle."
You know, listen, and plus the sugar doesn't kick in till like 3 hours later.
Yeah,
It's offset.
yeah.
It's messed
Welcome
up.
to that. Welcome to that show. I drank those Canadian Club instant mixers. I almost died with those too. Or Jack Daniels and honey. That was fun.
Mm.
My heart. He's dead.
Anyways, not
Sorry,
not shitting on your wine. I'm just not a huge Malbec guy.
Oh, no, I
is all.
get it. Hey, man, everybody. I like it strong. I like my beef rare. I like my wines like that punch me in the face, and I like low sugar. But anyway, what do you guys think about the Steelers? So you like the Ravens? You were telling me.
Well, are we back in?
Yeah,
are we back in?
We're
we
back,
back?
baby. We're back. Silver
Oh,
picks
sorry.
6.5 for Baltimore. Is your pick, Rob?
Yeah, but it's 6. There's 6s. I'm not going to get scummed on the hook here. -6 is the line. Yeah, listen, I think Pickens is probably not going to play at this point. He's a grade 2 hamstring tear. That's usually it'd be forcing him to come back this week. If he does play, I think it'll be ineffective. And that to me is the big difference maker here because the Steelers offense, frankly, it's nothing without him. And one big thing that I've noticed, which I mentioned when we were talking earlier, was that the Steelers are now running the ball a whole lot more. And that doesn't really work against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are not a team that you can consistently run on. This Arthur Smith offense has become an Arthur Smith offense over the last 5 weeks or so. I look at the matchup that they previously played in Pittsburgh, the 18-16 Pittsburgh win. Steelers 4.1 yards per play in that game. Didn't move the ball. Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks. On top of that, the Ravens turned it over 3 times. 2 of those were fumbles by Derrick Henry and Isaiah Likely, who basically never fumble. A lot went right in that game. And I'm going to turn around here. I'm just going to back the Ravens again this week because I think Baltimore is a very complete football team. So I'll take the 6 points.
I'm staying away from this game. I believe in Tomlin voodoo magic, and all of a sudden, Derrick Henry will fumble on the first play of the game again, and Lamar will just randomly throw 5 interceptions because it only happens against this team. Just no thanks. I'm staying away.
Finally, water's starting to find its level with the Steelers. We'll see.
Yeah. This is kind of the same thing as last week, right? Everyone looked at those points against the
I
Eagles.
took Philadelphia as one of my Philadelphia is one of my biggest. I told you, Rob. I go that Pittsburgh's going to be the biggest public dog, and it was a bad matchup for the Steelers going up against the Eagles. And if the Ravens don't screw this up, Pat, I think that might be the right side too. Like they can win this game by 17. It's also a revenge game for a team that hates the other team. Sorry, Tomlin Magic. Like just because you're magical and you do these things, like Baltimore's really going to have to fuck this game up not to cover.
Are you seeing that? Are you seeing Aiden O'Connell gonna play this week, Rob?
He practiced today.
Give me Vegas.
And the market moved. Yeah.
Give me Vegas.
I like Vegas too.
1.5. I know that they're actively trying to tank to lose this game, but that's not really how it works in the NFL.
No.
Like they
Pierce
almost
wants to keep his job.
They almost
It's another thing. They're playing for jobs.
They almost beat the Falcons by running up the middle, down 10 points.
Could you believe that stupid kicker he misses an extra point too, Rob? Like this is another thing, and then it screws up everything. And the unnecessary safety. The Raiders should have covered that game. Atlanta was ass. The Raiders defense actually played good in that game. Like they were fine. Like I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? This is ridiculous. The Falcons had no business covering that game. It was bullshit.
Jacksonville's so bad. So bad.
You know what? Mac Jones is playing well though, and here we go.
Okay, but Mac Jones last week.
Christmas apology.
Mac Jones couldn't hit an open receiver last week.
His numbers were pretty good. Anyway, I'm just saying this. Hate when he rakes guys nuts. Okay, I don't think he's a cool dude. I don't like his perfect hairdo, SEC cut. But I'm going to tell you something. The guy's been playing better and he's gaming. So
you have the same haircut as Mac Jones. What the hell are you
talking about?
His
is a bowl. Mine is more. It's called a Caesar cut. Mine's just army. His is a bowl. Mine is not a bowl. It's more of a rug. a bear rug,
No
but
one
trimmed.
No one celebrates more after a 1
Bingo.
yard scramble than Mac Jones. Like, get this guy out of my
Mac
fucking
Jones,
No,
life.
he's an idiot. I know.
If I
but
could
I'm
have reached through the screen and punched him in the head, he's celebrating that. I'm like, dude, you suck, man. You're fucking terrible. He's celebrating every single completion, first downs.
Now you guys are the ones who hate Mac Jones. I was actually trying to be nice over the holidays.
he
but
stepped-
what? I
It was
can't get behind that.
embarrassment, dude. It's embarrassing to watch that.
He stepped out of bounds 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage on purpose when he could have thrown it away.
I remember that play. I watched it.
This guy's there's something weird going on up there. But anyway, he's trying sometimes, I guess.
I think that they told him, like, listen, we'll keep you as the backup next year if you actually tank these games for us. And he's like, sure, why not?
I just could not get over how much I'm watching Red Zone last week. Every time they're showing that Jags-Jets game, it's Mac Jones. It's a first down, and Scott Hansen was infatuated with the celebrations for Mac Jones. I'm like, he picked up 11 yards on second down. Let's calm down here. He doesn't need to run down the bench signaling first down. I couldn't handle that. Was it like for a guy like Mac Jones, who's been so shit for his career, like at least play a couple good games before we're going to start celebrating like it's the fucking Super Bowl here, buddy.
Nice. I like this, Rob. Now you guys are part of the Mac Jones club. I had this take 2 years ago, but that was one thing I was right about.
Mm-hmm. You were
Not right about a lot.
But you also did say Bailey Zappi was going to be a great quarterback.
I think I might have said that. That was a big mistake. I'm allowed to admit when I'm wrong. Did I say he was going to be great? I thought I said serviceable. But anyway,
I think
check the
probably
tape.
great was probably an understatement. You probably said this guy's going to be like a real,
like stupendous, like
yeah,
he's gonna be one
surefire
the
Hall of
best
Famer
yeah,
type of thing.
surefire, yeah, BZ, yeah, that's the guy. BZ.
Cam,
Okay.
which one of your gold picks are you making your silver pick?
I don't know, Pat. I got a whole plethora. So let's put Seattle in the 2-hole, please. I'm not going away from it. Let's just go. Yeah, I saw I ruin the show like I do every week with my idiocy. But you know what? You're telling me I can't get a 3.5 here, like nowhere on the universe.
I don't
It's
see
nowhere. Zero.
I don't
Not a
see it.
single sportsbook, not even the one that confuses the Georgia logos, has a 3.5.
I well played, Rob. Excellent play, Rob. But I'm going to tell you this. That this game did open 4, and that's a fact, Jack. Right, Rob? Did it not? I saw 4 when it first came out.
I bet the
I bet it. I
Seahawks
have it on
opener
my
at
stuff.
3.5, but I'm not denying
4 with juice.
certain
It was
books
4
would
with
have done
juice.
4. Yeah, sure.
4 with juice. Okay. Anyway, Pat, I'll take it at 3.
Right,
I'm not trying to cheat you guys.
When we guessed the lines on the Sunday show before Sunday Night Football, it was 3.5, is what I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
And I'll make.
I found it one more. I know I bet it at 4. I might have paid more juice, but anyway, I'll take Seattle at 3.
Well, I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota at 3 on the road against shitty.
Oh, here we go. Christmas Day. Got to go against each other.
Well, it's a guaranteed winner this week.
Yeah,
You got at least one win.
I'll look at it that way. I'll look at it that way, or a push. Or, you know what? I got a feeling
I
it's
might
going pushing.
alt
1-1 and
line.
1.
I might alt line the Vikings up. I don't think that Seattle can block Minnesota.
Well, we'll see.
I think that might be a big problem as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know what? Minnesota, Chicago was actually doing some things in that game too. So you know what? Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Wait, when was
Feels like a
Chicago
trap
doing
line.
anything in that game?
I don't know. They had a tackle who didn't report and took away a touchdown and then had a hold on the next play.
Well,
that's fact.
That's not good. That means they were cheating to win.
No, it means their offensive lineman's a fucking idiot, and he didn't. All he had to do was communicate to the referee and didn't even open his mouth. And then the next numbnuts takes a holding penalty. The Vikings weren't that great in that game.
They weren't. I bet the Vikings,
Bears
and I can tell you.
are marching up and down the field.
But the Bears suck.
The
Bears are terrible. They're going to blow games all the time.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They're terrible. I'm just telling you, they actually moved the ball on Minnesota, and Seattle could do the damn same. I know Seattle's line sucks. They got exposed, but Green Bay came to play in that game. They punched them in the face. That's life. It's football. Seattle.
I think that Seattle struggles to score points here, Cam. That's my worry.
I don't. I think Seattle wins this game outright. I think the Vikings are in for a rude awakening. Everybody thinks this team's the next coming of God.
Who have you been talking to who is saying this?
A lot of people talk about the Vikings. A lot of them say they're amazing. They're good. They're very good. They're okay.
This sounds like a cuss straw man.
Sounds like a who?
Cuss builds up this straw man, and he'd be like, "Oh, all these people are saying this about this team." It's like, name me one person.
I do that a lot.
That's
why. But I have so many skeletons in my closet due to personal drinking and other things like that. I probably couldn't get into politics. But if you wanted to be a mayor like Ford in the old days, I'm your guy. because I love the people. but I
No,
do a
no,
lot
we
of stupid
established
things.
this already. You can't be mayor. It's too easy to get to you. You're too easy to pay off on certain things.
Well,
It
you don't
could
think
not
I'd have
happen.
friends doing certain construction jobs? Look at the way the city is now. They've been building up Mississauga for the past fucking 10 years. I can't even get to Port Credit in under 40 minutes. I live down the street. Anyway,
Sure,
give me the
you're a man of the
Seahawks.
people until someone offers you a fucking cured
Damn
meat
right.
and fucking box of cheese, and then
Hey,
it's over. You do
You
whatever the
could
hell.
bribe me with a box of wine and prosciutto. I'm not a hard guy to. Yeah, you're right, Rob. I am buyable. I'm like Ted DiBiase. Everybody's got a price. Put the damn money in my mouth. Do it.
All right, so Minnesota -3 for me is my bronze. I think they
Yeah.
killed the Seahawks. And it was going to be the Eagles the other way, which I also would have went against you with, but I'll take the lower number with
Fair
the 3.
enough. Fair enough.
Rob, your bronze.
I'm going to do something very unorthodox and unusual here, but I'm going to continue to just pick on the New York Giants because I think they are an
I like this
abysmal,
play.
horrible team. I have no idea what Michael Penix is going to be. By the way,
Not worse than any
-7.5
Not
at
worse than
FanDuel.
Kirk Cousins, and the line's gone down. I can tell you that.
He
Smart
might be, but the Giants are not a real football team. Like you can't play football without your starting 3 cornerbacks and players missing on the D line. Brian Burns didn't practice today. Like they are a joke. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I'm assuming Drew Lock is going to play as the
He is.
starter, but yeah, it's a disaster
It's
to
Tim
me of an
Boyle?
organization.
I think it's Locke.
I think
they
it's
said
going to be
Lock.
Lock. I think it's going to be.
I think there was actually an announcement that said they said because Tommy DeVito's so bad, they're putting Locke back in.
I mean, I like the Giants in this game just because I think that their D line might just be able to blow up Michael Penix and just put a rookie first career start under a ton of duress. That maybe it reminds me a lot of that New Orleans game a few weeks ago, and now they're asking him to cover more. Like they don't need to cover the game doesn't need to be as close. They can still lose by a touchdown and cover this number. I don't believe in Atlanta, man. Atlanta's terrible.
But the Giants have 3 sacks in the last 6 weeks. Like their pass rush isn't even good. They have nobody playing on defense.
See,
It's not. Baltimore gets the ball, they just move down the field. And listen, Atlanta's not Baltimore.
But
Don't get me wrong.
Baltimore did, but the defensive line was getting through the Baltimore offensive line. Lamar was just eluding them all, and that's how everyone ended up so open down the field. But you put Penix back there. Listen, he might be mobile, but I don't think he's Lamar.
Oh, he's not Lamar. I'm scared he might be bad in the first start. I just think so lowly of the Giants at this point and their ability to do anything.
Actually, Patrick, I'm going to tell you this. I think Rob's onto something. The fact that the line goes down 10 to 7.5, can he be any worse than Kirk Cousins can't move. And watching that Raiders game, it was an absolute trash fire. This guy fucking sucks. Okay, he can't move, he can't throw, he can't do anything. He can't do like Penix can do one thing. He can nickel and dime, little dish offs to Bijan and Algier. Keep the playbook simple for him, and the line has gone down 2.5 points. I think it should have gone the other way. That's me, but I'm a little bit different. That's what I say. I like the pick a lot, Rob. I think Atlanta blows these guys out of the water.
Okay.
Did we? I can't remember if we talked about this on the show or not, or if it was the spread show only. But we've been calling for Penix for weeks.
Yes, we have weeks, maybe months.
But just Cousins looks washed up, but he's very
He's
clearly
hurt.
still hurt.
Yeah, they should have
He's
never
hurt.
I don't know how they gave that contract to Cousins coming off an Achilles injury.
It's crazy. That's a
It's
bad
insane.
organizational move financially. You can't do that.
Although he will be, I mean, look at if Rodgers is finally starting to play well now, and he tore his Achilles before Kirk Cousins did, and it took him till basically 3 weeks ago in order to be healthy, and he had like magic healing crystals that he was rubbing on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Rodgers is getting the good medicine, Pat. Cousins didn't get that. He went for the standard treatment. Rodgers did it. He went on his private retreat, whatever the hell else he did. Who know? Yeah, I'm just joking, by the way. But I don't know, man. Rodgers has always had more mobility than Cousins. He has, and he has like a better arm generally overall as well. So you don't have to plant that foot as much and still be able to generate some arm strength. Cousins is washed right now, totally and utterly washed. And Raheem Morris even said that the guy like completely lost his confidence on top of it. It's pretty sad for a guy that's been in the league that long. He just knows he doesn't have it anymore.
If you weren't paying attention, that interception versus the Chargers could have been the worst pick of all time. That DB saw that thing coming when he was like back. It was just so bad. Like you can't put this guy out in the field anymore.
There was, I mean, to your point about Minnesota, Cam, Darnold's pick on Monday night is why they will never win the Super Bowl this year with him. You just saw it. Just throw it away, take the sack, don't throw off your back foot a lob directly to the other team.
You're right, Pat. And that's kind of why I like Seattle in that point. And I know Minnesota's a better team, but I'm going to tell you, and coming off that loss, people remember what they last. I'm going to tell you, Darnold's going to make a couple really bad plays in this game, and he's going to get burnt by it. That's why I think Seattle is live this week, because these guys have been playing with fire for a long time. And you know what? Seattle's got a big game. They got smoked. They got to set up for the Rams' final game of the season to probably see who wins that division. And I think Seattle's going to be ready to play this week.
I just feel like
the worst pass I've ever seen, by the way. Sorry to bring up memories, but the Colts Broncos trick play last week was one of the.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Colts, good fucking work. Eh? Like these guys, 14 points off the board because guys can't take it over the line. Be like Barry Sanders and figure
Jonathan Taylor, too, of all people. Like,
honest to God, this is the new world we're living in. You fuckers can't even go. How about you get in the end zone and hand the ball to the referee and do it again? Like that's why I love Barry Sanders so much, man. That guy, every week I watch football, I love that guy more and more, just being a class act instead of an idiot. This guy's a veteran, great running back doing that shit. That's nuts. I don't even know what to say.
Of note,
nuts.
The Seahawks, Cam, have scored more than 20 points just once in their past 6 games that were outdoors.
Well, Darnold will give him a smooth 10, maybe set up one touchdown, pick 6 and a field goal. Let's go. And I think the offense is good for 14. 24-20 Seahawks.
Yeah. What's your bronze pick?
It's the Jets. I'm not even might as well out of one of my 6 dishes that I liked. I kind of like the Raiders as well. I was actually looking at San Francisco, but that game's a train wreck.
If you're a 3 to 3.5 point dog, this is the week for you.
Yeah,
that's me.
That's you. Me. That's the theme this week.
It is the theme. Three's the magic number with Cam. It's true, Rob. I got 3 on every game. 3.5, 3.5, 3.
All right, let's build a teaser out of this. We lost last week, so we fell 1 game below 5.
Was it my fault?
I blew it.
I actually think we all blew it. In the game. Yeah.
Okay. I picked Seattle last week.
Yeah, Cam, I think I coaxed you into it too. It's probably
you got very excited. I did it for you, Cam.
But thanks. I lost. It was 7.5 with Washington on the show, so we lost Washington minus 1.5. We didn't even get the push, and I think you had Miami, Cam. So I think you had the only leg that was a winner.
You know what though? I don't mind losing to if we're gonna lose it, I'd rather have 2 losses than 1, even though it says we suck. I'd just you think about the one game that got you. So I have no problem with that.
I'm with you.
Where do we want to go for this week?
I'll take the Bengals.
I'll take the Ravens.
Cincinnati, Baltimore, and I will. You know, Jeff had a big thing ready to tweet at you, Rob, about teasing through 0 because he's a genius, and then it lost. But the game he teased through 0 was a winner. The other game was a loss.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The thing people don't understand is, of course, you can tease through 0 and win one top, in the long run. It's just a very bad play because the numbers you're gonna get are 2 and 1 on both. They're not as significant. That's all it is. It's the same as teasing totals, right? Of course, you could tease a total and you could win, but generally it's a bad idea because the points are not as valuable as the points on sides. Anyways, I digress. I'm kind of glad you told me that, though, because he's going to watch this back and he's going to send me a message.
Rob, what happened on your video when you're saying going away or whatever? I looked at it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it full. Is there something happening? Or
it was me donating Tortellini, the tortoise, to a reptile sanctuary.
Good for you. You're a good person for doing that.
I care about I care about the pets I have, just because I couldn't take them to this place. And, I want to travel a lot in 2025. It's really hard to travel when you have a tortoise at home because they need a specific type of diet. They need the lights on and off at certain times. It's
a fucking river. Can't leave.
He's got a kid.
I have 2 kids.
Oh yeah, 2 kids. You know what I got? Nothing. But you know what? I can't even handle myself. So more power to you.
I'm going to tease the Patriots up to 20.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Because
you know what? I kind of think they lose that game by right around the number.
Hey, you know what? You wait until Drake May, a.k.a. New School Blake Bortles, gets unleashed halfway through the 4th quarter when they're down by 25. Dude will be the MVP of the final 10 minutes of the game.
I will tell you, I bet so many Patriots overs this year where Drake May got it for me in the 4th quarter. I fucking love Drake May. I'm getting a Drake May jersey. The Patriots run the most simple offense for half. Then when they're finally down 20 points, they're like, all right, Drake, throw downfield. And guess what? The guy gets it done. I like that angle, and it definitely happens every week. Patriots fourth quarter all the time.
It's a nice in-play opportunity on Underdog as well because you have the live lines and they just don't adjust enough for Drake May or pick whatever random Patriots receiver that you want. They're like half of what they should be, knowing that Drake May is just going to sling it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the classic. Once they get off of the Gerard Mayo early, game plan, which goes to shit every single week, it's like, all right, let's play like some schoolyard football now. And Drake May handles that really well. I love Drake May. I think May is going to be, when he gets a real OC and maybe some offensive linemen, he is going to be a great QB.
You like him more than Bo Nix?
I do.
Michael Penix?
I haven't seen Penix yet, but I would say probably yes.
Penix is a grinder.
Okay.
If there was a redraft, I'd take Drake May over Caleb Williams.
Would
I
you?
would too. Yep.
I don't know about Jaden Daniels. That's close.
I kind of agree with Rob there.
I mean, I would listen, in terms of actual prospecting, I have no idea about Drake May, but he seems very Blake Bortles to me.
But he hangs in there. He's
great. When the other team plays prevent defense, he looks awesome.
Not always. I mean, he has no O-line, similar to Caleb. He has no wide receivers.
I'm not saying
does
Caleb's
have
great.
wide
I'm not here telling you that Caleb is great. Like, I have no idea on either of these guys, but everything that like Drake May gets a lot of props for is like playing Madden on easy mode. When it's like playing on hard mode, he's not very good.
Fair, but he has complete incompetence all around him, and he still shows the flashes. That's
kind of like Geno Smith with the worst line in the league, Seattle.
Yeah.
Their line stinks, but I like them this week.
Interior O-line for Seattle is
it's trash.
Yeah, their center did retire for random reasons halfway through the season.
Well, because he was snapping the ball over.
Well, he watched the show. He got his feelings hurt.
Buildings. Yeah, exactly.
Cam hurt his feelings. Connor Williams hung him up. He's like, I'm not dealing with this.
I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but the guy snapping it over like buildings at Superman.
I think they would take the guy snapping it bad once a game over what they currently have with this Oluwatimi.
Who might not even play this week. He's not practicing.
He hasn't practiced. It'll be Jalen Sundle, the third string center. If I looked that up earlier.
Anyway, Seattle, but this could be a bloodbath. Anyway,
to recap,
it's life.
This week's picks, I have Tampa, Vegas, and Minnesota. Rob has the Jets, Baltimore, and Atlanta, and Cam has Washington, Seattle, and the Jets. Our teaser, Cincinnati down to -1.5, Baltimore to a pick, and I have teased New England and my guy, Blake Bortles, a.k.a. Drake May, up to 20 points.
I don't like that call.
Bortles was even the third pick in the draft, too, I believe.
Bortles sucked. I watched Bortles at UCF.
Yeah, you know what? Bortles did suck. You know when he was awesome? When you needed like 14 points when the game didn't matter.
Bortles Bortles cost me almost like living on the streets in that one game where he threw that pick. Like, this guy was like, remember Rob back in the day when Jacksonville didn't like every week they're like playing their asses off. The defense, here comes Blake Bortles, pick six. He's like the modern fucking Will Levis. That's or the past Will Levis. That's what I'm saying. It's the same shit. Like you take the right side and you lose because of the quarterback. Every fucking time.
In 2015, Blake Bortles threw for 4,400 yards and 35 touchdowns.
He actually had one couple but he gives up.
He won a big playoff game too against the Steelers.
They went to the AFC Championship game, and they should have went to the Super Bowl if that fumble was actually called a fumble.
You're right.
It's true.
It is very true. Blake Bortles had a little run.
He did. I remember.
And Will Levis won't be having any runs, and his mayonnaise contract's probably going to be over.
Yeah, well,
about now.
Levis is bench, isn't he? Aren't they playing Mason Rudolph?
Rudolphson. Levis
could have done it the whole year.
Yeah,
you want to take Rudolph on Christmas, Cam? That's the move.
That's a great call. But they're not playing. They're not playing on Christmas, but still around Christmas. Oh yeah, you know what? I should have took Tennessee. See, that's a theme. Rudolph on Christmas. Now they cover.
All right,
they will cover this week, right? Don't you think?
I like them to cover, but I also think they're terrible, so I wouldn't touch it. They're 2-12.
What's our finances? They're
2-12 against the spread. They actively find ways not to cover games.
It's true.
It's really annoying. Are we good financially? Like side bets? Who's doing what?
I owe Pat $100.
Okay, cool. Okay,
and I think I owe you $100, Cam.
That's fair. You bought me a bunch of beef, so everything's great. Thanks.
Perfect. Well, we can just, instead of me sending to Pat and Pat sending to you, I could just send directly to Cam.
Well, why don't we just settle up at the end of the year? And once we have something,
I like that too. Maybe one day we could all get together and just get wasted. That sounds like a plan.
Hey, June or July, sometime in Toronto. We'll all get together. We'll make it a thing. We'll do a show, and drinks are on me, Cam.
I like that, Pat. This sounds like a great idea. You don't drinks don't have to be on you, but this warm reunion sounds lovely.
Sounds like a foursome at Oakdale with Feinberg. Tab on him, no?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I think we should put it on a day. We'll put it into the Candle Empire. I think his old man can handle that.
Rob Pizzola, you can follow at Rob Pizzola on X and the Forward Progress YouTube channel, and buy his masterclass because he needs the money apparently, don't you, Rob?
I do. I made so much off of that class. I get $0 from any sales because I didn't even really negotiate a contract. But apparently, I do need the money. But actually, seriously, if you don't know anything about sports betting or you are a loser, I do think that the class will help you. Masterclass.com/Rob Pizzola. The tracking link is just a tracking link. I'm not getting anything out of it. And it's only $8 a month to subscribe. I'm not sending you to buy some $2,000 class. That's what the internet seems to believe, but it's not.
I'm signing up, and it's a very good deal because I definitely need a master class after betting on Tennessee and Carolina every week this year because I'm a fucking stooge.
Now, Rob, do you think, are you saying that losing bettors should sign up for this or just losers in general?
Just losers, and everybody.
Like life losers.
Any loser.
If you're already a loser, you probably don't want to start betting on top of it.
Losers and goofs wanted $8 a month.
Just watch out for Patty Marrow, and maybe he'll be a part of the next part.
Pat Marrow just signed up, Rob. $8 coming.
There was an offshore sports book where their PR guy is Pat Morrow. It was really very close.
That's Bet Online, isn't it?
It's I think Bovada. I think
is it
Bet Online. Those guys
Bet
still
Online
exist.
is Dave Mason.
Yeah, that's
Dave
right.
Mason.
Yeah, it's David.
Yeah.
What's the one that Danny White used to run? But he was the guy in the Dallas Cowboys uniform, no star. Those guys owe me like $16,000. If they're still around, I got to find out how to get them. But anyway, long story.
They probably call them a bunch of goofs, and they don't want to pay.
Yeah, next thing you know, they could have put me in the bottom of the lake, but just decided that they went under and not to pay a winning bet.
Subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience and sub on YouTube to the Mayo Media Network. Smash the like while you're here. And a reminder that the one and done season-long golf league is now open. It's already 25% full. So if you want a spot, you should probably go get it at Fantasy Golf Championships right now. And if you tweet me a screenshot of your entry, it puts you in a draw for a Christmas Day giveaway of another free entry. So go do that right now. FantasyGolfChampionships.com. All right, I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!